Thanks. And so Greg just showed up, and said, I'm going to clip this to you. I was like, I guess I better not go too long, right? No. All right. Well, yeah, I'm talking about worship, and here's my thesis statement: everything we do in life is worship. I've been a worship leader for a bunch of years and had a lot of time to think about it. And just for you lead pastors, if, when your worship leaders ask for an office with a door with no window, that's because we want to think. Do our best thinking with our eyes closed. No. But anyhow, as I thought about that, I came up with, just kind of, organically came up with, kind of a structure, and I call it, the 4 W's of worship. I'll get to the content in just a bit, but the basis for that is my favorite verse in the Bible for a long time has been Romans 12:1. It says, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. This word worship shows up in the Bible about 250 times. So it's important that we know what it means. It's got a very broad definition. It's got seven main words that mean worship. About 6 of them are in Hebrew and 1 of them are in Greek. There are other ones which show up, but those are the 7 main words. And the definition, taking all 7 of those words, is this: to commend, praise, adore, glory in, to still, quiet, pacify, celebrate, laud, admire, exalt, rejoice, boast about, bless, salute, thank, kneel down, bow down, stoop, submit, revere, pay homage, make oneself low, serve, work for, labor for, come toward, a kiss. So, based on that, this is where I came. This is kind of where I fleshed out the 4 W's of worship. The big W, the first big W, is all of life. Everything we do in life is something that we do these things for all kinds of stuff. So that's the first big W. And then little W worship is then what happens, when we gather together in church settings. So coming down to that level where we're gathered together, the big W worship there is everything that happens in the service. We are participating, we are, paying attention to our lead pastors all the time. And but all that stuff that happens in the service, whether or not we're participating, is big W worship. The small W worship is kind of what we generally think of, as we're participating, we're singing or doing whatever. That's what we generally think of as worship. But that's kind of the 4 levels I kind of, that helped me think about that. And the reason that's important is that what we do in our gatherings should be an outgrowth of a life of worship. Okay, it's not just a reset. It's not just a refill one day a week, and then the rest of the week we don't have to worship. Then we get refilled up again. It's an outgrowth of what we do in our life. So one of the best quotes I ever heard is, "We go to church not to worship, but because we are worshipers." Fish swim. Fish aren't fish because they swim. They swim because they're fish. That's what they are. Worship isn't just singing. It's not just in our gatherings. It's not, just this small compartmented part of our lives. Worship is all of life. Worship is not a choice. It's our life, and all of our life is worship. The question isn't really whether we worship, but what we worship. What do we commend, praise, adore, glory in, to still, quiet, pacify, celebrate, laud, exalt, rejoice, boast about, bless, salute, thank, kneel down, bow down, stoop, submit, revere, pay homage, make oneself low, serve, work for, labor for, come to our kids in our lives? Every single thing we do is an act of worship to God, money, power, love, people, sports, the Vikings, no. But that means that every thought, word, and deed is an act of worship. So, here's my question. As you reflect on your day-to-day, coming and going, ordinary, everyday life, what things sneak in and steal worship away from God? What promises do they lure us with Why do we fall for them over and over again? And how do we go about realigning our worship with this new understanding? There you go.